Hello riders and not. Today on the vlog I'll be riding a new Indian Scout Boba. Currently guys, I'm in Czech Republic in Budapest at Indian Riders Festival, where I'll get a chance to ride a new Boba. But first of all, I spent a couple days riding beautiful roads selected for us for a press to ride in Czech Republic, to explore a little bit of a country, and I chose to ride an old Boba to make a little comparison and to talk what are the differences between the old Scout Boba and the new model. I've been on Scout for 2 hours and I really start liking it. It's so agile, it's amazing. Literally you just wave through the bends beautifully and so smoothly. It's a very good feeling, especially having forwards. I have little cramps in my legs, but it's because it's unusual sitting position for me, and people say I have too long legs, so that might be the reason as well. But I like it, I'm really enjoying it. I'm very glad I chose Scout, and I'm really looking forward to test ride a new one, which will be even better. And I'm now I'm even more excited about that, because I tried the Sports Chief. I spent a day in southern France riding a Sports Chief, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't the type of bike that like I would choose. If I would have to choose between Chief and Scout, I would definitely go for Scout. It's definitely more my type of bike. A good test for the bike, because if it handles well in the rain, it handles well in the dry. Not sure I wanted to plan to do the test like this, but it is as it is. So we're testing motorcycles in the rain now. It's a part of life. when at the beginning of the day I wasn't feeling that sure about the bike and about the forward controls that are absolutely not my favorite, at the end I fell in love with it. One of the reasons I don't like forwards because it gives you less of the control of the bike. I feel like I'm more in the bike when I have mids rather than when I have my legs stretched forward, but it wasn't a case with the bobber. It was just natural. It was super agile and super smooth, torquey enough to enjoy the ride and to keep up with everyone. And I didn't skid once, so it must be a good tire as well. The things that I didn't like that much, it was lacking cruise control, which the new bobber has. Also, because of the stretch to reach the lever and the thicker grips than on FTR, I got a pain in my wrist, as well as a little bit pain on my legs because of that forward position. I could feel the water running into my boots and I don't like it. I don't like that feeling at all. That is the organizer of the festival.
Hello!
Hello! Jeez, look at that state of the bikes.
I saw you too, like because that short fender just...
I was all covered, yeah, I know, right? Everything is wet.
Are you wet?
Yeah, very wet. It was cold, wasn't it?
My favorite Indian was always FTR. This is the reason why I spent the first day in Czech Republic on FTR carbon version, which was always my favorite Indian. But riding a bobber yesterday all day, at the beginning I wasn't that sure, whereas at the end, now it is a big competitor with FTR for me. And I'm looking forward to try a new improved version today, as well as eventually, hopefully this season, a new Scout 101. How do you like new Scout?
So smooth! I love this engine!
Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, absolutely. My name is Lionel Murph. I work for the Swiss Indian market and I'm the technical supervisor.
And you are the guy who knows all the differences between the old and the new Scout.
Absolutely.
Can you quickly, like in a couple of minutes, take us through?
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea with this new Scout was to take the overall concept of the old one and to make it a new bike with better performances, with everything improved. So what I can mostly say is that we have a new frame on this bike and we also have a completely new engine that improves the power and the torque as well. And also we improved all the electronics to allow to have this touchscreen display that is installed to offer different versions to the customers.
Have you ridden both?
Absolutely.
And what could you say, like from the feeling, do you feel that improvement that is on the paper while riding it?
My impression is that the initial goal initial goal is achieved in the way that you can still feel the feeling that you have with an old Scout because it's an easy bike to ride with enough power for daily riding and everything, but they took it a bit further with something that provides more torque, so you have a little bit this feeling of being dragged each time you take the throttle, while having a bike that is very dynamic, very interesting on the curves and everything. So I would say it's mostly an overall of everything that you already have on the bike, but especially on the engine side.
Just to remind you the size, so you don't have to search for that Munich video, guys. I'm 1 meter 75 centimeters, 5'9", as you can see, I definitely touch the ground, and I believe on the Boba anyone could. I mean, you have to be extremely like not tall to do not be able to comfortably sit on the bike and touch the ground. The forwards, which you know is not my favorite, I kind of got used to it yesterday and started appreciating it a little bit, but after spending all day riding a Boba, I could get a cramp on this leg, which I sorted just by having a leg like this and resting it a little bit and then getting back to it. So the feeling, the ergonomics by just sitting on the bike feels pretty much the same. I probably need to sit on the previous one. I couldn't feel significant difference. There's no stretch in your arms, so it's like nice and comfortable Boba style. The seat is the same. You're kind of locked in the seat, so it's no movement for your body if you're doing a long ride. So, but it's not designed for a long ride. If you want a long ride, the raw bikes in the range more suitable for that, for touring, whereas Boba is a badass bike for your dailies, for your short rides. And I proved yesterday that you could spend easily 6 hours on the bike in the different weather conditions on the unknown roads, riding a beautiful curvy routes and still feel great.
Everything about it is very easy to ride. It's very simple and very user-friendly. I could see somebody having it as a fast bike. I had my Sportster fast bike, and I could say that this is so much more agile, so much easier to ride, and that low weight balance is really easy to control and easy to deal with.
Blackhead from all the way from America here, who rode a Boba as well as the entire range of the new Scout.
Yeah.
What do you think of a Boba?
The Boba, the Bobber as we call it.
The Bobber. Bobber.
Awesome bike. It feels more aggressive because, you know, lower bars, lower suspension as well, and then obviously it just has like this like stance to it that just looks great. Beyond looks note, so the aesthetic nailed it, while riding it feeling like very aggressive, being like lower to the ground. On bumps, it's a little unforgiving because you've got an inch less suspension travel. So if you get it, pick your roads wisely. Also, it's forward controls, right? So you can't really stand up for those bumps if you come across them. So, but yeah, overall, great bike, lots of power, very low center of gravity, easily maneuverable. Scrapes kind of soon, obviously, as Scouts do. But yeah, I mean, it's a Scout Bobber.
What would you change straight away? Like if you would get a Baba suspension.
No question.
That would be your first change. And what would you get?
What do you mean?
What suspension would you put on?
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, you don't know.
What's a good suspension brand for
Oh, are you
that?
talking to me?
What's the good suspension to put on a Baba?
I would choose Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely choose Legends. We are not paid by Legends.
Legend suspension or Oleans. Anything with the piggyback because it's awesome.
Was it challenging to make a good-looking Scout,
Yeah.
which was already popular and everybody loved
Yeah.
the look, to
Yeah.
make it greater?
And I think that was the problem, because the current Scout is our most successful bike in the whole lineup. And we sold like over 100,000 bikes. And all the customers absolutely love the Scout. So it was pretty daunting when we were like, okay, we're going to make a new one. But then we did a lot of customer research. We talked with a lot of customers. We talked with a lot of customizers. And we also had a lot of ideas ourselves, you know, that while you're working on it, you have, you know, oh, maybe you can improve this or you can do something here. And when you put all of that on the table, the research, all the people we talked with, we said, okay, this is enough of stuff that we can improve to make this bike better. And that gave us the confidence to get going. But now the big question is, because you got to get one, and you're a welder and customizer, so what would you do to it?
What would I do? So
Yeah, what would you do to
first
it?
of all,
Of course, goes
that
without
needs
saying.
to go.
Yeah, I mean, this is the biggest battle we have these days, because it's all about emission and sound.
That's
and
what
it's
I
all
tell to people.
regulations.
It's not
Yeah.
for you. You would definitely design it differently.
No, and that's the biggest challenge for the whole industry. And you can only do as much as you can, and that's it.
Yeah.
And try to minimize. The thing with this one that we did do, that I think is a huge improvement to the old one, we actually moved the catalyzers out of the muffler and into the headers. Because the old one had the catalyzer in the muffler. So for the whole aftermarket industry, when they wanted to do a new muffler, they had to put catalyzers in it,
yeah.
which just blows the price, you know,
And
into
now,
the sky.
now it's a
And we
little
said,
more budget.
and it's complicated, it's expensive. So we said, no, let's move the cats into the headers. So now you can swap out just the muffler if you want that, and you're still going to be fine. You're going to be legal.
So-
and alternative is, of course, you swap the whole system, but not everyone can afford that, right? And not in every country is legal either. So now you can just do the muffler, and you're going to be fine.
So basically, designing something where you have to follow all the regulations, something not necessarily what you would normally design, you still think about the customer.
Oh, you have to. You have to all the way. Same with the foot pegs. The old Scout only had Ford pegs. And that was one of the first feedbacks we got from everyone. It's like, you need mid pegs.
Yeah.
And now we designed it that way, so there's plenty of space. So we have mid pegs already available for this. And, you know, it puts the peg about here.
Yeah.
So we don't have it on any of the new, we didn't, for the launch we don't have it, but we have it in the catalog. And that's super important, because if you're in the dealership, you sit on the bike and it's not perfect for you, those are the three things you gotta have. You gotta have a handlebar, you gotta have a seat ready, and you gotta have pegs ready. We had handlebars, we had seats, we didn't have pegs. And we lost customers because of that.
Yeah.
Now we have all those three things. And it's super easy. You know, 2 bolts and you can shift them out yourself. You know, so you gotta think through all those things and prepare for those things to keep it simple.
Basically, you are designing not the perfect bike, but a perfect platform for somebody's perfect bike.
That's it.
That's brilliant.
That's you nailed
brilliant.
it. And that, it's not easy, because you got to think way beyond just to do one perfect. Like I said, it's easy to do one perfect bike, but to set it up as a really flexible platform that anyone can work on, that's the challenge. So yeah, you nailed it. That's exactly what we tried to do. Now I want to see what you're going to do with it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, very curious.
We have to arrange that off the camera, maybe.
We have to take care of that. Yeah, now with the steel frame, you can chop it and weld it.
Oh yeah,
you
and the
chop
frame
and
now
weld.
is you can unbolt it. Basically, all the subframe comes off.
Subframe,
So
you can
easy,
do that too.
so you can change that, and that's wonderful.
So
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
it's really like a good platform to play with.
Yep. Absolutely.
Really good platform to play with.
Cool. Looking forward to what you're going to do with it.
Wow. Wow. This is amazing. Just like that, I get to test ride a new Scout Boba even more. And on the twisty roads as well as the slow speeds. At the beginning I was worried when riding in the city that it is very hot because I could feel the heat, especially in the sunshine. But then I couldn't notice like excessive heat like on some motorcycles when it's really bad. It wasn't that extremely bad. And those of you who ever did the ride like this, distinguished gentleman's ride or like Harley ride or Indian motorcycles ride or any ride, charity ride, you know that these can be really painful in the heat, and you could really feel if the bike is hot, especially on the sunny day. I felt alright. I'm wearing my tiny jeans, so I definitely, nothing blocks me from the heat, and it was alright. I could feel it, like I could feel the engine heat, but not excessive, not even as bad as on my bike after I did a 1250 on it. And considering the engine size is the same, it's not as hot. The lever is a little bit too far for me, so I get pain in my wrist. But I had this on the same on the previous Boba. This one is slightly better. The grips are slightly like narrower here, so it gives me more like space to reach it. I can reach it with both fingers, whereas on the previous Boba I was using a middle finger most of the time. So it's definitely an improvement for my little hands. Also, you have a sat nav. Unfortunately, this is like a special model just sent for this event, so it has a sat nav for America, and I wasn't able to use or try it over here in Europe, unfortunately. But it has a sat nav in the screen, and I've been told it's really good, but I can't tell you if it is good or not because I haven't tried myself. I've been told that it's good. Suspension remains the same as the previous Scout, but the frame, all the chassis is different, and that's what makes handling and agility even better, because it's definitely, I could feel a slight improvement, that's for sure, and more than a slight improvement in the engine performance and the torque. It is more exciting now. It is more fun to ride.
you think she did a good job. Did she do a good job? Yeah? Hit the like button. We'll wait. Hold on. We're waiting for them to hit the like button right now.
I'm gonna use that in every video now. Just use that one clip at the very end.
Did you do it yet? Okay, you hit the like button. Cool. All right.